I've been quiet for a minute. I've been grinding, still in it. I've been counting these digits. Excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't.
Hey there, Knuckle News fans. Susan Singari here in Hollywood, Florida, and look who I ran into. JR the Lion Ridge. JR, what the heck are you doing here? I mean, I know you came just to stand next to me to kind of show me up, because you're looking really stylish with that new hairdo.
You like the new hairdo?
I love the new hairdo.
Susan, it looks good?
Yeah. You know, what is it up, and I asked David Mundell this as well, what is it up at that training camp? I mean, you've got yourself, Mundell, Reber, Jarrett, Crystal Pittman. What's the special sauce at your training camp?
You know, it's just talent that fills the room. You know, the people that we have in the Tampa Bay area is just like the Miami area. A lot of talent in Tampa Bay, a lot of talent in Miami, and we're here to stay. We're here to stay.
So, JR, you have a loss on your record, your last fight, and you told me off camera that you feel like you didn't really feel like yourself during that fight. Tell our fans what that means.
Yeah, you know, every athlete, every fighter experiences it. Your head's there, your body's there, but mentally you're not. And I was dealing with a few things, you know, that really nobody knew about, and I wasn't my best self. And I apologize to the fans. I even apologize to my opponent, Tyler Randall, for not giving him the best of me. So
it's such an important point, fight fans, to know, besides the fact that bare knuckle is so much more strategic, because you really have to decide when you're going to throw those power punches early on, or perhaps wait till later, because your hand can be broken. If your head is not into the game, you just can't fight. So let's talk a little bit more about what that means.
You know, mental, emotional, spiritual, like if everything's not aligned,
yeah,
you cannot run on all cylinders. You can't. And every fighter's experienced it, and it's just something that we have to endure for the next time. The next time has to always be better.
How do you come back mentally from a loss then? How does that affect you mentally moving forward if you're coming off a loss?
Just get everything in check. You got to get everything in check. You got to get your mind right. You got to get your training right, and you got to continue to push on, because that's what we do. We push on. We're fighters, and we do everything the best. We want to be the best that we can be.
Now you're still ranked number 2. Are you ready to go for the gold?
Absolutely.
And who do you want?
John Dodson. You know, I fought John. Was it last year? I fought John last year. It still haunts me till this day, and I want John again. And I heard from a little birdie that we are going to the Philippines. I don't know if everybody knows, but John is also half Filipino. I'm Filipino. I was born in the Philippines, and I've been telling BKFC that we need to go there. I want to rematch John in the homeland, so let's make it happen. Dave Feldman just announced that we are going to the Philippines 2025.
So happy for you and excited. I do have a question to ask, though. Fighting back in the Philippines, your hometown, where you're from, would that make you more nervous, or would that exhilarate you during the fight, knowing that you're there with a big support of the crowd?
It would be exhilarating. You know, like, I'm fighting in front of my roots, fighting in front of my homeland. Like, that's my blood. My Filipino fans will be able to see me live. It's a dream come true, really. It's a dream come true.
So, you are a huge fan of Manny Pacquiao. We got to talk about that.
Who's not? Like, who's not a fan of Manny Pacquiao? Manny Pacquiao is a legend. Like, the one thing that I really like about Manny, and I try to live my life the way Manny lives his life, is that it's like he gives back.
Yep.
He gives back to the people in need, and I try to live my life that way. And he's on interviews, he's told stories where he's selling donuts as a kid for $2, you know, trying to make a living. And now he's the senator. You know what I mean? He's the senator, and he's made a name for himself in the sport of boxing. He's a legend, and I think he finally hung his gloves up recently. So,
you know, what you're saying is so true, because part of my goal in life is we're restarting a series called Soul of a Warrior, and it really tries to highlight the difficulties the fighter can face and how he he or she has overcome those challenges to get where they are. Because honestly, you know, I've covered a lot of sports, interviewed a lot of celebrities, but you guys really inspire me. You really do.
You know, to overcome a lot of things as a fighter, like every fighter has a story. Every fighter has a story, and long story short, my story is that I was adopted at 7 days old. I was basically dropped off at my parents' doorstep, my adopted parents' doorstep, and I've been fighting all my life.
Yeah.
I've been fighting all my life, and not just me, but every other fighter has a story.
Has a story. Good point.
That they fight, and they fight every day.
I think the Silver War Series is going to really highlight and show the obstacles and challenges the fighters face and how they've overcome them, and highlight people like you who do have a solo warrior. All right, here's the important questions. Fans want to know, if you want to get into combat sports, be a bare knuckle fighter, what advice would you give them?
I would just give them that you know, this sport really requires grit. Not only discipline, but this sport requires grit. You can't be a softy. You can't. Like, this sport is different than boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai. It is for the people that have grit, and that's the way it is.
What is your secret talent, JR?
My secret talent, Susan,
Come on!
I can see through objects.
Really?
Yes.
Does that make it dangerous?
I don't think it's dangerous, but it's definitely a gift.
It's a gift. What would you be doing if you hadn't chosen the fight path of being a fighter?
Honestly, I think I would be a chef.
Oh, so you do have a secret talent. I gotta hear about this one. Come on, let me know.
Susan, like, every time I'm not in fight camp, it's so funny. Ryan always calls me, or he always says, "Don't turn into Josh." And that's my legal name, right? If you guys knew Josh before I started fighting or in fight camp, Josh is a little chubby. He likes food. Susan, Josh likes food.
What is your favorite dish to cook? Which one are you the most proud of?
I can cook some amazing smash burgers.
Well, I might have to come over there for those.
Yeah.
We have to have a cook-off challenge. You know why? What is a dish that would be traditionally Filipino that you feel you could prepare?
Lumpia.
And what is lumpia?
Lumpia is,
Lumpia.
how I can explain it, it's basically just like little egg rolls. Little egg rolls. It's amazing.
All
They're
right.
amazing.
Here it is. I'm on record. I'm challenging you, because my family was in the food business. My homemade lasagna against your lumpia. We'll bring it to the gym, and all the people with the special sauce up at your gym get to test it out. What do you think?
I'm down. Let's do it. I'll take on the challenge.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to interview with us. I look forward to seeing you in the Philippines, whether it's a rematch with John Dodson or whether it's a new opponent. And you know we're going to do it, remember? For Bare Knuckle News, I'm Susan Sigari, and this is
JR, the Lion Ridge.
And remember, and I mean remember, Bare Knuckle fans, no one beats us to the punch.